On this episode, I stop into my hometown to see an old friend.
Destined for greatness, heads been a waste, an empty, vacant arrangement, a mind-boggling lines. You calling me out, it's a crime. No falling off when I climb. Ladders to greatness, so patience, cause I be killing it. Taking them through the syllabus, whoa, there ain't no telling me no. This is irreversible, my rhymes cursing them. Personal shots hurting them worse than a bomb vest bursting them, whoa. Cause when I spit, it's a river that ricochet, bullet flow. Until I strangle, my thoughts angle when telling me no.
What's up, Cody Create Your Purpose? This is episode 26 of the Create Your Purpose show. I'm here with an old friend, Drew Riak, blogger, old friend, just like you're doing so much, so let's not waste any time. I know you're busy. Let's just jump right into it. Tell me about what you do, why you do it, and just give me the 411 of who you are.
Absolutely. My name's Drew, and I kind of run like a blog, kind of an Instagram kind of flow. It's called Returning Home. It kind of comes out of not the most popular story or season in life. Once upon a time, I was a pastor in the GTA, and just got to be honest, made a couple of bad choices, bad mistakes, and it brought me home to Windsor. Windsor is home, and so it was a season of dealing with some bad decisions, dealing with a lot of pain, a lot of frustration, and a lot of abandonment from people. And not to get all spiritual on you guys, but I really believe that all things can work together for good. And so in my brokenness, in my pain, in my confusion, I said, how can I give back? How can I help someone maybe who I've never met, maybe whose story I will never know. But to give back and say, hey, your story matters. One of my tags on my Instagrams is,
I see that a lot. Your story matters.
Is your story matters,
yeah.
and really, no matter what you've done, no matter where you've been, what your last name is, what you're tied to, I really believe that your story matters, and you're not expendable. Yeah. You're not a castaway, and in my thought process. God has something specific for you, and no matter what you've been through, He still wants to use you and take you to that next level in your life.
I think something unique, like we've known each other for quite a while, and like we have kind of that similar journey. And last week on the show, I talked a little bit about my journey and just kind of going to Bible college. So it's interesting that we have that same background. And I think one of the most interesting things for me is kind of see this play out over the past, it's probably, how long have you been running Returning Home?
About 3 years.
About
2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years. Yeah. So to see it pan out, you always had that influence, right. But to see that you take that influence onto a social platform and really, you have a ton of engagement with people, and you're really engaging with your audience. So it's interesting to see that. Where was the defining moment where you decided that I want to be an Instagram? I would consider an Instagram social influencer.
Yeah, for sure. So again, I wrote my story out, and I made a website. It's returninghome.ca if you want to check it out. And I was a little hesitant to, how is this going to be accepted, or is there going to be any backlash?
Was that a big thing back then? You were really worried about what people were going to say?
Terrified.
Yeah.
Because
how did you get over that?
Because I was so in the culture that I was a part of. I was so caught up in doing well and doing good and being championed, and so it was always next level. And so when I do bad and I'm a bad boy, I don't know what to do with that. So I'm worried, how is this going to be accepted? And then so many positive things started happening, so many great conversations.
So you just put yourself out there one day. You just kind of said, I'm going to do this.
Absolutely.
And you put yourself out there and you did it.
So used to the stage, so used to having a voice, and yet wanting to be authentic with myself and therefore authentic with my audience. No presupposed ideas that this is going to get me back into the game or this is going to get me fame. No, I was just trying to be authentic and saying, this is my story and your story matters. And it just started to become a thing. Tons of great response. Actually, in 2 years, I can say hundreds of emails and little messages, and really, and I mean this, only one angry message towards me. So I really feel that this has been a positive, that out of my brokenness and out of my bad choices, it's been turned around for good, and people can see that, hey, I can make a good choice and I can make the right decisions. And even though I might feel that I'm not doing well, there's always a next level for you.
I find it unique that the authenticity brought you back to a sphere where you can have influence again.
Yeah.
Like I find that super unique, just from like I was embedded in that culture, and I understand it from another level. And those who might be watching this video, if you're embedded in that culture, it's unique to see that you take your influence online and you help people online on a social platform.
Right.
So tell me about that. Like, tell me more about like the maybe like, if you feel comfortable, tell me a bit about that. Like, like that specific like social influencer. Like, what brought you to that point?
Well, I love, if you go on my personal account, I just love taking pictures of my daughter. Like, my daughter's my life. She's so much fun. And I just liked interacting with people on that level. And it's almost like as I follow people and as they follow back and people decide to actually engage, you can see the conversation starting to happen, and I've become like, friends with this dude in Louisiana, and then friends with this guy in Milwaukee. And I really believe that, in 2017, the years that we live in, we're afforded so much to connect with people, connect with their hearts. And it's just been a snowball effect of social media. And I believed in it and I championed it when I was pastoring, and we branded and labeled our stuff, all over the place. And so I figured, this is afforded to me. Let's see if it matters. Let's see if it works. And yeah, it's been fantastic.
Yeah, that's extremely unique. Why do this? You do.
Yeah. One thing that was told to me in the beginning of my, journey through my hard times was, don't waste your pain. Mm-hmm. Don't waste the pain. And I didn't want to become a statistic. I didn't want to fall by the wayside. And again, not so much for me, but in my story and the things that I've traveled through and persevered through, like I know because I've talked to many people who have been through some hard situations, that they feel abandoned, they feel left alone, they feel like they were something and now they're not something, and so they don't matter. And so just to know that I can have a positive voice. I don't need a stage, I don't need a microphone, I don't need a guitar, I don't need the lights, I don't need the sounds. I just have an authentic thought in my head for the day, throw her down on Instagram with a picture that has to do with Windsor, Ontario, and the comments start coming in, the direct messages start coming in, and it's all positive. Like, it's all positive.
I just find it so unique that like social landscape has changed absolutely everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I just find it extremely unique, like that you have a voice among, like, because of bad choices per se, like, you now have that voice and that influence. Do you consider yourself a leader?
Yeah, I do consider myself a leader. I really believe in leadership. I really believe in systems and making systems better. And one of the things that I miss about my old vocation is team and is community and is going towards something with a common goal. I really believe that there's a new season coming for me, that maybe those skill sets and those passions will be able to be used again. But to think that maybe I have some kind of leadership role in somebody's life out there, out of how many people have decided to follow Returning Home, like I'm honored, and I feel like the new me would say, like, it's not about me anymore. It's about an authentic message that wants to get across to help other people out. It's not about my stage. It's not about my platform. Again, it's just about my authentic heart going out to people, and hopefully they connect on it, whether it's on that spiritual level or just like, hey, that's a super positive thought, and that's really helped me through my day.
Absolutely. Where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years with this?
I want to keep it going. The story that I wrote is done, and it's on the website in blog form.
So you can check that out, returninghome.ca.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of go back to the beginning and read it through about my journey, about my hopes, my fears, my bad decisions, about the grace from my family and my wife, and just fantastic. And it was just healing for me to write it. And now I just kind of blog as I have random thoughts. But I would like to continue to see it going just as an outlet for people to stay in contact with me, or, just hopefully receive some positivity on that level. And like I said, I think some doors are opening up for me and for my family in the coming days.
That's amazing.
Can't,
you can't disclose that
can't
yet.
disclose all that.
We don't have a little sneak peek of what's going on the show.
We are in Chatham, and I am leading worship a lot more.
Hometown.
And that's cool. So yeah, I think some good things are around the corner for us.
That's good. That's awesome to hear. Thank you once again for tuning into the Create Your Purpose show. Go and check out returninghome.ca. Drew React, the man, the legend, someone that I look up to dearly, and I appreciate.